The state's first witness, Sergeant Thabo Mosia, was cross-examined in the murder trial of former Orlando Pirates and Bafana goalkeeper and captain Senzo Meyiwa. Let's get more on the story. We'll cross to SABC News reporter Hasina Gori, who's been following proceedings. A very good afternoon to you, Hasina. Judge Chifua Maumela asking Advocate Thabo, who was doing the cross-examination, to be concise and at times expressing what came across as irritation and quite adversarial proceedings in court.
Good afternoon, Nzinga. Yes, it's been quite a morning here at the North Gauteng High Court as the cross-examination began. And as you mentioned, you saw those interactions between the judge as well as with Advocate Thabo, questioning his line of questionings, actually forbidding him to speak on things that may not be relevant. That was specifically in the beginning when he was questioning the experience of the state witness, that's the forensic officer, Sergeant Thabo Mosia, and speaking on his own experience as a police officer, and the police and the judge really telling him to curb his questioning. He said he felt limited by the court. However, they said that you can speak with regards to the evidence. However, when it came to questions that may seem to be outside of this, he should limit himself. There was also an interaction between the Advocate Thabo and the state prosecutor, Advocate Baloy, with regards to a term he used, saying that he will ask questions until he's blue in the face, and Advocate Baloy taking offense to this, saying that it was out of line. So you saw this kind of interactions coming through, and an Advocate Thabo really saying that he's not here to make Advocate Baloy comfortable, and he will ask questions in line, and in the interest of his clients. He is representing accused number 1 to 4 who are facing charges for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, as well as the attempted murder with regards to the incident that took place on the 26th of October 2014 in Vosloorus, which left the soccer sensation dead. What we also heard for the first time coming out of court is a kind of explanations or more details around what actually transpired in that home. We heard from the state witness, Sergeant Mosia, telling us what he had heard from the brigadier in Glovu, who said he was a provincial head of investigations and who had called him to the scene, and saying that from what he understood, there was a scuffle that took place in that home which led to shots being fired. And when he was prompted more around what led him to also believe this was the case, he said that when you looked at that evidence of a hat, a checkered hat, which has come up a lot in the last day and a half, that checkered hat that was found on the floor of the kitchen, as well as the walking stick, he said those were unusual items to find in the kitchen, and that also led him to believe that version from the brigadier who was the first on the scene, and in saying that he believed there was a scuffle that took place. So this is what we were hearing this morning, cross-examination by Advocate Thabo, but also before the conclusion of his testimony, where he was being led by the state, he went into detail around whether or not the crime scene was preserved and what steps was taken by him to ensure that there was a preservation of the scene. According to him, when he arrived at the scene, there were 7 people. That was 3 females, 2 males, and 2 children who were at the scene. And he said that he had asked them to move into one bedroom, that was bedroom number 2, and there was a yellow tape put around and cordoned off. The police tape was and the scene was then cordoned off to ensure that no one came onto that area. He said that when he went back the next day, that tape was still intact, claiming that showed that the scene was preserved, so to say, and the purity of the process was adhered to. He was also then brought up the question around why did it take so long, because according to the reports, the incident may have taken place sometime after 8 p.m. However, the state witness had had only arrived at just past midnight, saying he had only got a call just before midnight, and he says, according to his understanding, that the victims were more concerned at that time with ensuring that Senzo Meyiwa was taken to hospital, and that then only did they report the matter. This is what we've heard so far, and the cross-examination will continue when we return after lunch, but that's it for me from now. Back to you in studio.
Hasina Gori, following that court case for us, thanks for the update. She'll continue to do that throughout the